Chapter 22, Pilgrimage. In the name of God, the gracious, the compassionate. O people, be aware of your Lord, for the quaking of the moment is a terrible thing. The moment you see it, every nursing mother will leave her suckling child, and every pregnant one will miscarry, and you will see the people drunk while they are not drunk, but the retribution of God is most severe. Among the people there are those who argue regarding God without knowledge, and follow every rebellious devil. It was decreed for him that any who follow him, he will mislead him, and guide him to the retribution of fire. O people, if you are in doubt, as to the resurrection, then we have created you from dirt, then from a seed, then from an embryo, then from a fetus developed and undeveloped, so that we make it clear to you. We settle in the wombs what we wish to an appointed time, then we bring you out a child, then you reach your maturity, and of you are those who will pass away, and of you are those who are sent to an old age where he will not be able to learn any new knowledge after what he already has. You see the land still, but when we send down the water to it, it vibrates and grows, and it brings forth of every lovely pair. That is because God is the truth, and he gives life to the dead, and he is capable of all things. The moment is coming, there is no doubt in it, and God will resurrect those who are in the graves. From people are those who argue regarding God with no knowledge nor guidance nor an enlightening book, bending his side to misguide from the path of God. He will have humiliation in the world, and we will make him taste on the day of resurrection the retribution of burning. That is for what your hands have brought forth, and God does not wrong the servants. Among the people there is he who serves God hesitantly. So if good comes to him, he is content with it, and if an ordeal comes to him, he makes an about face. He has lost this world and the hereafter. Such is the clear loss. He calls upon besides God what will not harm him and what will not benefit him. Such is the far straying. He calls on those who harm him more than they benefit him. What a miserable patron, and what a miserable companion. God admits those who acknowledge and promote reforms to gardens with rivers flowing beneath them. God does, as he wishes. Whosoever thinks that God will not grant him victory in this world and the hereafter, then let him extend his request to the heaven via some means, then let him cut off and see whether this action the cause of his anger. As such, we have sent down clear signs, and God guides whomever he wishes. Those who acknowledge, the Jews, the converts, the Nazarenes, the Zoroastrians, and those who have set up partners, God will separate between them on the day of resurrection. For God is witness over all things. Did you not see that to God submit what is in the heavens and what is in the earth, and the sun and the moon and the stars and the mountains and the trees and what moves, and many people, and many who have deserved the retribution? Whoever God disgraces, then none can honor him. God does what he pleases. Here are two opponents who have disputed regarding their Lord. As for those who rejected, outer garments made from fire are cut out for them, and boiling water is poured from above their heads. It melts the inside of their stomachs and their skin. They will have hooked rods of iron. Every time they want to escape the anguish, they are returned to it. Taste the retribution of the burning. God will admit those who acknowledge and promote reforms to gardens with rivers flowing beneath them, wherein they will be adorned with bracelets of gold and pearl, and their garments will be of silk. They are guided to the good sayings, and guided to the path of the praiseworthy. Those who have rejected and repel from the path of God and the restricted temple that we have made for people, for the dweller or the visitor to it, and whoever inclines to evil action in it, we will let them taste a painful retribution. We have appointed to Abraham the location of the sanctuary. Do not set up anyone with me, and purify my sanctuary for those who will partake, and those who will enforce, and those who kneel and prostrate. Call out to people with the pilgrimage, they will come to you walking, and on every transport, they will come from every deep enclosure. So that they may witness benefits for themselves and recall God's name in the appointed days over what He has provided for them of the animal livestock. So eat from it and feed the needy and the poor. Then let them complete their duties and fulfill their vows, and let them partake at the ancient sanctuary. Thus, and whosoever honors God's restrictions, then it is better for him with his Lord. The livestock is made lawful for you except what is recited upon you. So avoid the foulness of idols and avoid saying false statements. Monotheists for God, not setting up anything with Him. Whosoever sets up partners with God, then it is, as if he has fallen from the sky and the birds snatch him or the wind takes him to a place far off. Thus, and whoever honors the decrees of God, then it is from the piety of the hearts. In them are benefits to an appointed time, then their place is to the ancient sanctuary. For every nation we have made a right that they may mention God's name over what He has provided for them of the animal livestock. So your God is one God, so to Him peacefully surrender and give good tidings to those who obey. Those who, when God is mentioned, their hearts revere, and they are patient to what befalls them, and they hold the contact prayer, and from what we provide them they give charity. The plump animals for offering, we have made them for you, as decrees from God, in them is goodness for you. So mention God's name upon them while being orderly, so once their body becomes still, then eat from them and give food to the poor and the needy. It was thus that we have made them in service to you, that you may be thankful. Neither their meat nor their blood reaches God, but what reaches Him is the righteousness from you. It was thus that He made them in service to you, so that you may glorify God for what He has guided you to, and give news to the good doers. God defends those who acknowledge. God does not like any betrayer, ingrate. It is permitted for those who have been persecuted to fight. God is able to give them victory. The ones who were driven out of their homes without justice, except that they said,
"Our Lord is God."
If it were not for God defending people against themselves, then many places of gathering, markets, support centers, and temples where the name of God is frequently mentioned, would have been destroyed. God will give victory to those who support Him. God is powerful, noble. Those whom, if we allow them authority in the land, they hold the contact prayer, and they contribute towards betterment, and deter from evil. To God is the conclusion of all matters. If they deny you, then denied also before them did the people of Noah and Ad and Tamid, the people of Abraham and the people of Lot, the dwellers of Midian, and Moses was denied. So I granted respite to the ingrates, then I took them. How then was my punishment? So how many a town have we destroyed while it was doing wrong, so that it is laying in ruins with its wells abandoned, and empty palaces? Have they not roamed the land and had hearts with which to reason and ears with which to hear? No, it is not the sight which is blind, but it is the hearts that are in the chests that are blind. They seek you to hasten the retribution, and God will not break His promise. A day with your Lord is like 1,000 of the years you count. Many a town I have given it respite while it was doing wrong, then I seized it. To me is the destiny. Say,
O people, I am but a clear warner to you.
As for those who acknowledge and promote reforms, for them is forgiveness and a great provision. Those who seek to obstruct our signs, those are the dwellers of hell. We did not send before you any messenger or prophet, without having the devil interfere with his wishes. God then overrides what the devil has cast, and God secures his signs. God is knower, wise. That He may make what the devil has cast, as a test for those who have a disease in their hearts and those whose hearts are hardened. The wicked are far away in opposition. to let those who have been given knowledge know that it is the truth from your Lord, and they will acknowledge it, and their hearts will soften to it. God will guide those who acknowledge to a straight path. Those who have rejected will remain in doubt from it until the moment comes to them suddenly, or the retribution will come to them on a day which will stand still. The sovereignty on that day is to God, He will judge between them. As for those who have acknowledged and promoted reforms, they are in the gardens of paradise. Those who did not appreciate and rejected our signs, those will have a humiliating retribution. Those who emigrated in the cause of God, then they were killed or died, God will provide them with a good provision, and God is the best of providers. He will admit them an entrance that they will be pleased with, and God is knowledgeable, compassionate. It is decreed that whoever retaliates with equal measure, as was retaliated against him, then he was persecuted for this, God will give him victory. God is pardoning, forgiving. That is because God merges the night into the day, and He merges the day into the night. God is hearer, seer. That is because God is the truth, and what they call on besides Him is falsehood. God is the high, the great. Did you not see that God sends down water from the sky, and then the land becomes green? God is compassionate, ever aware. To Him is what is in the heavens and what is in the earth. God is the rich, the praiseworthy. Did you not see that God commits to you what is in the land, and the ships which sail in the sea by His leave? He holds the sky so that it would not collapse upon the earth, except by His leave. Indeed, God is kind towards people, compassionate. He is the one who gave you life, then He makes you die, then He gives you life. But the human being is always rejecting. For every nation we have made rights which they will fulfill. So do not let the matter fall into dispute. Call upon your Lord, for you are on a guidance which is straight. If they argue with you, then say,
God is fully aware of what you do. God will judge between you on the day of resurrection in what you dispute therein.
Did you not know that God knows what is in the heavens and the earth? All is in a record. All that for God is easy. They serve besides God what He did not send any authority upon, and what they have no knowledge of. The wicked will not have any helper. If our clear signs are recited to them, you see hatred in the faces of those who have rejected. They are nearly close to attacking those who are reciting to them our signs. Say,
shall I inform you of what is worse than this? The fire, which God has promised to those who have rejected. What a miserable destiny!
O people, an example is being cited, so listen to it. Those you call upon besides God will not create a fly even if they all gathered to do so. If the fly takes anything from them, they will not be able to return it from him. Weak is both the seeker and the sought. They have truly underestimated God's power. God is powerful, noble. God chooses messengers from amongst the controllers and from amongst people. God is hearer, seer. He knows their present and their future. To God all matters are returned. O you who acknowledge, kneel, and prostrate and serve your Lord and do good that you may succeed. Strive in the cause of God properly. He is the one who has chosen you, and He has made no hardship for you in the system, the creed of your father Abraham. He is the one who named you those who have peacefully surrendered from before, as well as in this. So let the messenger be witness over you and you be witness over people. So hold the contact prayer and contribute towards betterment and hold tight to God, He is your patron. What an excellent patron, and what an excellent supporter.